Apple's newest iPad release was somewhat disappointing, not good enough for us to rush to the stores. But we will tell you how to make the right choice. In this video, we'll take a look at all the iPads you should consider buying, their pros and cons, and in the end, I'll show you the best iPad to spend money on, the hidden and forgotten gem that completely demolishes any other iPad. Let's start with the least interesting iPad Apple sells, an iPad 9. This ancient relic currently retails at $329 brand new. Some retailers have even better deals, but let's focus on official prices. So the iPad 9 is a strange tablet. Under the hard, old, obsolete shell, we find a modern, powerful processor. I have no complaints about its performance. The A13 handles everything like a champ. Games, movies, web browsing, even video editing in LumaFusion, everything is responsive and fast. Another thing I like is the 12-megapixel front-facing camera with a central stage. Oh, and it's the only modern iPad with a headphone jack, so if that's something you can't live without. And that's basically where its strong sides end. I can't say that this design has aged well. It's a nice tablet, but the design just feels too old nowadays. The screen is not laminated, so you have this huge gap between the display and the glass. And this gap makes it feel even older. There is also no anti-reflective coating, so watching movies isn't very comfortable. The one-side mono speakers and that home button. I know there are some people that prefer physical home buttons to gestures, but it was around since the first iPad, since 2010. It's time to move on. The iPad 9 also supports only the first Apple Pencil. Yeah, that lollipop one that charges in a bizarre way. So all in all, if you're buying a tablet for your kid or older relative, it may be fine, but for personal use, look in another direction. Next, we've got a new 10th gen iPad which Apple sells at $449. And that's where it really gets interesting. You see, this price range of sub $500 is a perfect place for an iPad to be in. And beside iPad 10, it hosts quite a few other iPads, but more on that in a minute. 10th gen iPad is low-key great. At least it would have been with a sticker price of $350 to $400. But at $450, that's a stretch. When compared directly to the 9th gen iPad, the new one does look much better in almost every way. It has a better, modern design with flat edges and even bezels. The front-facing camera is now placed on a longer side and works better for video calls. It has USB-C, a bigger screen, stereo speakers in landscape mode, and wait, is that the iPad that despite having the USB-C and flat edges still supports only the first gen Apple Pencil? The one you need to buy a $9 adapter for? Yes, that's the guy. An iPad 10 is a very strange machine. It appears modern at first glance, but as soon as you look closer, you start noticing all the cut corners. The screen isn't laminated, so the gap persists at $450. The screen is only 60 Hz, but we're used to that. The chip inside is A14. Why not A15? Never mind. Did I tell you about the keyboard? A $250 keyboard is reserved solely for a cheap entry-level iPad. But again, never mind. Well, you got the point. This whole iPad can be described with only one word: never mind. There are far better ways to spend your $449. You know, iPads are great for many things, but we mostly use them for content consumption. And how about content creation? iPads, just like your iPhone, can be used to create videos for TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, and to really make your videos pop, you need effects. And that's exactly the type of thing you can do in Shot Effects. With Shot Effects, anyone can add effects to his videos. Dancing effects, dragons, planets, space. You can bring some magic and fantasy into reality. With cool effects, you can make your videos stand out, attract new people, provide a feast to their eyes. Let's see for ourselves. I want to try this galaxy effect, so just click on it and you will see the area that says open your hand. And it's best to shoot it in a dark environment. Then simply press record and act like you're holding a galaxy. Now you will have two options: save the video to the gallery or edit in the built-in editor. I will choose the second option, and here you can do something extra to really enhance the effect. Let's click on the effects tab, just go through each of these categories and play around with the look and feel of the scene. What's more, you can always start from scratch by clicking on the scissors icon and selecting a clip from your library. With this editor, you can now make your raw footage look better by adding stickers and filters and drag the filters to objects and faces in your scene. Really, lots of fun stuff you can do in this editor. What I really like is that you can shoot videos right in the app and effects will appear instantly. It's great when you need to adjust the shot so that the effect will look best. This app works just as well on your iPhone, so you don't need to buy an iPad to create effects. And to download it, tap the link below and use my code Arthur for 30% off Shot Effects Pro. Or you can open the App Store or Google Play Store, search for Shot Effects and download it from there. But that way you won't get the discount you get by clicking our link. So download Shot Effects Pro and start creating cool effects right now. Let's get back to our iPads. The iPad Air 4 will be a far better choice than the 10th gen iPad. It's similar in many ways, but fixes all those weaknesses of the 10th gen iPad. Apple currently sells it refurbished for $469, but retailers will happily sell it to you for $415 plus shipping. The first thing you will immediately notice is the laminated display with the anti-reflective coating. iPad Air's screen is so much nicer to look at, to drag your finger on. Everything feels right on your fingertips, but that's only first improvement. The second one is the support of the 2nd gen Apple Pencil. It magnetically attaches and charges wirelessly, has better sensors, and is generally better in every way. USB-C in iPad Air 4th gen is not limited to USB 2.0 speeds as it is on 10th gen iPad. Plus the body is slimmer and it has all the connectors necessary for the Magic Keyboard. Even internally, these tablets are twins, the same A14. The only way the iPad 10 is better is the selfie camera. It supports central stage and the one on Air doesn't. But that's really a small sacrifice. If you want even more of a tablet for even less money than the 10th gen iPad, here you go. A renewed 2018 iPad Pro. Apple sells it for $469, but on Amazon it can be picked up for as low as $395 plus shipping. And for $400, that's a steal. The 11-inch 2018 iPad Pro is probably the best iPad Apple has ever made. It has Face ID, gorgeous 11-inch screen with ProMotion, and great color accuracy. It supports Apple Pencil 2, Magic Keyboard, has quad speaker setup, and a ton of other small things. The only weakness on paper is the A12X chip. It's over 4 years old now, but performs just like the A14. And in graphics, it easily outpaces the A14. Plus, the 2018 iPad Pro has more RAM, 6 gigs instead of 4. No matter how you look at it, it's just a superior tablet in every way. Trust me, after you see the 120Hz screen once, it will be very difficult to come back to 60Hz iPads. The difference is real and it puts this iPad Pro in a completely different league. The iPad Mini 6 is difficult to recommend and I'll tell you why. On paper, it is a very good tablet, 8.3-inch screen with highest pixel density ever on an iPad, the A15 chip, the 2nd gen Apple Pencil. It does sound like a very nice combo, and it really is. The screen is laminated and has an anti-reflective coating, which makes content consumption pleasurable. Personally, I did not have the opportunity to use this iPad on a daily basis. It's small, light, powerful, and very pleasant to use. Bezels feel a little too big, but not too big. Much better than what we had on previous minis. But its biggest issue comes from its size. It's too small. I know that some people say that size doesn't matter, but it does here. For watching videos, it's too small. Plus, the battery life is slightly lower than you might expect from iPads. Drawing on it with an Apple Pencil can also be less comfortable, but I think that this size is better for gaming and reading. When playing games, your hands won't fatigue, and reading while holding the iPad Mini in one hand won't be as uncomfortable as it is with bigger tablets. For its small package, it's a really nice device, light and powerful. What else can you wish for? Maybe $499 for it is too much, but you definitely can find it cheaper. M1 iPad Air. That's the point of no return for this video. Apple's ultra powerful tablets are not very much different from one another, but choosing the right one is still tough. That's exactly where M1 iPad Air stands. Tough choice. On one hand, you're getting a really good tablet for $600, but on the other hand, let's leave that for later. The M1 iPad Air was the update no one was expecting. We were thinking about the A15 chip, but Apple put inside a fully fledged M1 with 8 gigs of RAM. Such ludicrous power is still shocking to this day. When compared to the previous iPad Air, this one has not too many advantages besides the powerful chip. It still has the same 64 gigs of base storage, front-facing camera has central stage, 5G support, improved video recording quality, and that's it. That's all hardware changes you get for extra dollars, but the M1 Part iPad is the cheapest one that supports Stage Manager, a very strange yet interesting multitasking system. It makes your iPad more versatile and productive if you know your way around this feature. With Magic Keyboard, it easily becomes a laptop replacement for scriptwriters, students, and basically everyone who needs to do some work on the go. But what if I say that for $15 more, you can get something much better? And that will be the M1 iPad Pro. On Amazon, a 128GB model can be found for $615 refurbished. And for that price, you will not find a better deal. $615 for a Pro machine with a ton of Pro features. That does sound like a fantasy, but it's not. Here's what you get for $15 more. A bigger, brighter, more color accurate 120Hz display, quad speakers that sound dramatically better and louder, Face ID. You can't overestimate how much Face ID makes unlocking easier. You just jab and swipe. Half a second process. Plus, the M1 iPad Pro has the better camera system all around. Front-facing camera is better than on the M1 Air. The rear system has 2 cameras plus a LiDAR sensor. Artists and those who plan on drawing with their iPads will notice even more differences. The latency with Pencil is smaller, making the response instantaneous. It also has a better Type-C connector that supports Thunderbolt and transfers files faster. It has a bigger battery and holds the charge better thanks to its variable refresh rate display. Just anywhere you look, you get a better tablet. If you can stretch your budget a bit, you should definitely buy this one for around $600. You won't find a better deal. The last iPads we'll talk about are the M211 and 12.9-inch iPad Pros. These things, I don't know where to start. Those things are insane. Just think about it. All the benefits of the M1 iPad Pro plus more. The chip is better, now it's the M2 instead of M1, which means 10% higher CPU performance and 35% better graphics, improved media engine and better AI engine. Power-wise, no complaints. The screen is better and has that feature of Apple Pencil just hovering over the screen. M2 iPad Pros are also the only tablets with ultra-fast Wi-Fi 6E, but you need a router that supports that. The 12.9-inch Pro also has a mini LED screen with much better contrast, brightness, and has no glare around bright objects. For watching something, that's the best screen you can get on any tablet on the market. But again, only the 12.9-inch model. So, which iPad should you buy? Which iPad will give you the best experience? Which one is the iPad King? I might sound unconventional, but there will be 2 iPads I think you should buy. If your budget is low, get the refurbished 2018 iPad Pro. You'll get all that staggering display, Face ID, speakers, and performance for cheap. But if you can find a couple $100 more, go for M1 11-inch iPad Pro. That thing will blow your mind. For that price, it's a no-brainer. And don't be afraid to buy refurbished iPads. They have a new shell, new battery, and mostly a new screen. So you'll be getting a totally new tablet for less.